Welcome to an enticing journey back in time when the world was a vast, uncharted place and travel was a venture into the unknown. This was the era of Marco Polo, the famous Venetian explorer. Born in the year 1254, Marco Polo's life was destined to be anything but ordinary, for he lived in extraordinary times. The 13th century was a period of great upheaval and change. In Europe, the Middle Ages were in full swing. It was a time of knights and castles, of kingdoms and crusades. Venice, Marco Polo's birthplace, was a thriving city-state, a hub of commerce and culture. Its strategic location on the Adriatic Sea made it a gateway to the east and a vital player in the lucrative trade of spices, silk, and precious stones. Across the continents, the Mongol Empire, under the rule of the formidable Kublai Khan, was the largest contiguous land empire in history. Its vast territories stretched from the Pacific Ocean to Eastern Europe, encompassing diverse cultures and societies. The Silk Road, a network of trade routes connecting the East and the West, was the lifeline of this empire, a conduit for goods, ideas, and cultural exchange. The allure of the East, with its riches and mysteries, beckoned many a brave soul. Among them was Marco Polo, a young man with a thirst for adventure and a knack for storytelling. The tales of his journey to the East, his service under Kublai Khan, and his return to Venice have captivated imaginations for centuries. His accounts opened up the world to the Europeans, sparking an unprecedented era of exploration and discovery. In such a time, a young man from Venice set forth on a journey that would become one of the most famous in history. His name was Marco Polo. His story is one of courage, curiosity, and the indomitable human spirit. His legacy continues to inspire explorers and dreamers, reminding us of the wonders that await beyond the familiar, at the edge of the known world. Marco Polo, born into a family of merchants in 1254, was destined for a life of exploration. As a young boy in the bustling city of Venice, Marco was surrounded by the sights and sounds of a thriving trade hub. His father, Niccolo, and his uncle Maffeo were seasoned merchants who often regaled Marco with tales of their adventures on the Silk Road. The stories of far-off lands, exotic goods, and diverse cultures ignited a spark within Marco that would eventually lead him down the same path. Marco's youth was marked by the absence of his father and uncle, who embarked on a trading expedition to the east when he was just a young boy. This journey took them as far as the court of the great Kublai Khan, the Mongol ruler whose empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the fringes of Europe. The seeds of Marco's destiny were sown during this expedition, as the Polo brothers established a rapport with the Mongol ruler and promised to return with learned men to teach Christianity and Western customs to his court. Upon their return to Venice, Niccolo and Maffeo found an eager Marco, now a teenager, ready to join them on their next journey. His mother had passed away during their absence, and Marco had been left in the care of another relative. The influence of his father and uncle, coupled with his own curiosity and thirst for adventure, set the stage for Marco's impending journey to the east. The Polo family's merchant background, their connections with the Mongol Empire, and Marco's own burgeoning interest in exploration were all integral to the inception of his journey. Behind the veil of trade and commerce, a grander narrative was unfolding, one that would intertwine the destinies of a young Venetian merchant and a Mongol emperor. Little did young Marco know that he was embarking on a journey that would change the course of history. In 1271, Marco Polo began his legendary journey to the east, a journey that would take him across the known world. An odyssey that would span 2 decades and thousands of miles. Marco Polo's expedition to the east was an adventure of epic proportions. Setting off from his home city of Venice, Marco Polo, accompanied by his father and uncle, traveled through the heart of Asia along the Silk Road. This ancient trade route, named for the precious silk that was often traded along its length, was a melting pot of cultures, ideas, and goods. Marco Polo's journey was fraught with challenges. The terrain was treacherous and the risks were high. There were rugged mountains to cross, expansive deserts to traverse, and fierce weather conditions to endure. Yet, undeterred, Marco Polo and his companions pressed on, driven by an insatiable curiosity and a thirst for discovery. Along the way, they encountered a myriad of cultures, each with its unique customs, traditions, and ways of life. Marco Polo was fascinated by these cultural exchanges. From the bustling bazaars of Persia to the nomadic tribes of the Mongolian steppes, every encounter added a new layer to his understanding of the world. But it was not just about cultural exchange. Marco Polo's journey was instrumental in fostering trade relations between East and West. His detailed accounts of the cities, people, and products he encountered along the Silk Road piqued the interest of European merchants. It opened up new avenues of trade, laying the foundation for an era of increased interaction and exchange between the East and West. Marco Polo's journey was also a journey of personal growth. He started as a young man eager for adventure, and ended up a seasoned traveler, wise beyond his years. His experiences shaped him, broadened his perspectives, and deepened his understanding of the world. The journey was long and arduous, but what lay at the end was worth every hardship. Marco Polo's journey to the East was a monumental feat, one that forever changed the course of history. It was a testament to the power of exploration, the value of cultural exchange, and the unquenchable human spirit of adventure. Marco Polo's skills caught the attention of the Mongol Emperor Kublai Khan, leading to an extraordinary relationship. Marco Polo's linguistic aptitude and cultural adaptability didn't go unnoticed in the grandeur of the Mongol Empire. The Emperor, Kublai Khan, saw potential in this young Venetian and employed him into his court. Marco was no mere courtier, he was tasked with numerous diplomatic and administrative duties throughout the empire, a testament to the trust Kublai Khan placed in him. Marco's responsibilities were manifold. He was sent on diplomatic missions across the empire, from the sandy dunes of the Gobi Desert to the lush landscapes of Burma. These missions were no small feat. They not only required diplomatic finesse, but also a deep understanding of the diverse cultures within the Mongol Empire. Yet Marco proved himself time and again, successfully carrying out the emperor's orders. In addition to his diplomatic roles, Marco also held administrative posts. He was assigned to govern the city of Yangzhou, a bustling trade hub teeming with merchants from all over the world. This position required Marco to navigate complex trade networks, manage city finances, and mediate disputes. Even in this role, Marco's performance was commendable, further solidifying Kublai Khan's faith in him. Marco's influence within the Mongol Empire extended beyond his official capacities. His keen observations and detailed accounts provided Kublai Khan with valuable insights into the workings of his vast empire. Marco's unique perspective as a foreigner allowed him to see things that others might overlook, adding a fresh dimension to the emperor's understanding of his realm. Marco's service to Kublai Khan was more than just a job. It was a symbiotic relationship that enriched both parties. Marco gained invaluable experiences and a wealth of knowledge about the East, while Kublai Khan benefited from Marco's unique skills and perspective. Despite being a foreigner in a strange land, Marco Polo earned the trust and respect of the mighty Kublai Khan. Through his service, Marco became a living testament to the power of cultural exchange and understanding, a theme that resonates throughout his extraordinary journey. After more than 2 decades in the East, Marco Polo returned to his homeland, bringing with him incredible tales of his travels. Upon his arrival in Venice, the city-state was embroiled in a war with Genoa. Polo, still a man of action despite his years away, was captured in battle and imprisoned. Within the stone walls of his prison cell, Marco Polo's adventures took on a new form. He befriended a fellow prisoner, Rustichello da Pisa, a writer of romances. Together, they penned The Travels of Marco Polo, a travelogue detailing Polo's journey and experiences. The book was met with both fascination and skepticism. Some found it hard to believe the accounts of the wealth and marvels of the East, while others were captivated by the tales of distant lands and cultures. Marco Polo's return to Venice marked the end of his journey, but the beginning of his legacy. From sparking European exploration to influencing cartography, Marco Polo's impact is undeniable. His detailed accounts of the Far East served as the West's window into a world unknown, igniting a thirst for exploration. His travelogue, The Travels of Marco Polo, was a sensation, providing the first comprehensive look at the cultures, customs, and geography of the East. This book went on to inspire other explorers, most notably Christopher Columbus, who carried a copy of Polo's book on his voyage to the New World. But, as with any tale of adventure, controversies abound. Skeptics question the accuracy of Polo's accounts, citing the omission of key aspects of Chinese culture like tea and chopsticks. Others doubt whether Polo made it to China at all. Despite the controversies, Marco Polo's place in history stands firm, a beacon of exploration and discovery.